In today's video, I'll be benchmarking two very popular drivers from times past, one from about almost 2 years ago and one from about May last year, which is 472.12 and then 512.95 against my ultimate driver 528.02, which is the driver that came out just before. It's 2 drivers ago. It's very stable. But anyways, guys, so I got this request from a viewer of mine called, dude, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Hoop or Hoop. I think I butchered that. But anyways, buddy, this video is for you. At that, let's get to the results. So all my games are tested at medium settings. Where FSR 2.0 or 2.1 was available, I used the quality setting. So for the oldest driver, 472.12, over the 9 games, I've got a total FPS of 604.11 FPS divided by 9, and it gives me an average FPS per game of 67.12. Then I did the same with the 1% lows, added up all the 1% lows, got to a total FPS over 8 games of 449.82. And then I divided that by 9, and then my 1% lows were 49.98. So when I divide the 1% lows by the average FPS, it gives me a stability reading of 74.46. Guys, I don't recommend loading such an old driver. It does still run the newest games, but there is some artifacting, and it does get a little bit glitchy at times. And also drivers have improved since then. And as you can see, it is pretty stable, but there's a much more stable drivers down the line. So that brings me to my next driver, which is the driver that came out last year. I think it was about May, which is 512.95. When I initially did testing on this driver, I used to just calculate the average FPS, and whichever driver had the highest average FPS, I used to recommend that driver. My benchmarking method has changed a bit. Obviously, these days I also calculate 1% lows, because it doesn't matter if you get high average FPS, if you got low 1% lows, you're going to have a stuttery mess. So I used to love 512.95 back in the day. Little did I know that the 1% lows on that driver was actually pretty damn good. So when I added up all the average FPS, I got a total FPS over 8 games of 610.86. Divided that by 9, and then my average FPS per game was 67.83. Did the same with 1% lows, got to a total amount of 471.38. Divided that by 9, and I got an average 1% low per game of 52.38. Now when I divide the 1% lows average by the average FPS, it gave me a stability reading of 77.22%, which is pretty damn stable. I didn't know that at the time, but this was a very potent driver. It was very stable, it was very good. But, sorry buddy, I have to say the best driver, yet again, is 528.02. I'm not going to bore you with the stats, you can just freeze the video and have a look here. But once I divide the average FPS or the average 1% lows per game by the average FPS per game, it gives me a stability reading of 77.96%, which is freaking stable. And not only that, drivers have improved since then, so the average FPS is higher, the average 1% lows is higher, and it's also more stable. So if you are considering using these older drivers, don't really recommend it. 512.95 is a good driver, but the best driver, yet again, is 528.02. Guys, tomorrow Returnal's coming out. Really excited for that. Definitely will be buying and downloading. Or do some optimization videos on that. But because Returnal's coming out, I think there's going to either be a new driver today or possibly even tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that video. Other than that, have a good day. Thanks for watching. It's people like you. Cheers.